Hello guys, my name is Relo and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today I have a very thrilling story that unfolded today, and I hope you guys like it. So this is also based on a true story. So I woke up around 11 o'clock today because I slept really late. I wasn't really fully rested considering the fact that I went to sleep around 5 in the morning, right? So I only slept for like 6 hours. A normal person needs 8 hours. And considering the fact that this is holiday, I was like, you know what? I usually sleep most of the day. So yeah, so I woke up and I was like, okay, fine. I went and took a shower. After taking a shower, I got ready because I had planned to go to the mall to buy some grocery. Yeah, it's been a long time and I've been ordering and stuff like that. So those who care about me and the people that are around me have been telling me that, you know what, you need to make a plan about that and you need to buy grocery and start cooking. So I was like, you know what, that's pretty cool. Since I have some things going on, I think that's a very good idea considering the fact that ordering is expensive. So I ended up not going to the mall because I'm close to a supermarket. So I went to the supermarket. I bought everything that I basically needed. However, there was one thing that was not in the shop that I actually needed, and that was the specific toiletries that I use. Right. So I decided, you know what, I'm gonna go to the mall. And so I came back to my place. I left everything that I had bought, unpacked and stuff like that, put all the meat and stuff in the fridge, and then I decided I'm gonna take a 5 minute break before I can set off to the mall. I did that, watched one of my videos, just to refresh my mind about some of the things that I used to record on my channel. Quite interesting, really. And after watching one of my videos, I was like, okay, fine, it's time for me to go. So it probably took me like about 30 minutes before I took off after my initial relaxation moment, right? So from there, I requested to the mall. I went to the mall that is like close to Britex rank. So cool, no problem. And yeah, the driver came in about 5 minutes or so. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. They collected me and then we went there. When I got there, I went straight to the shop that I wanted to buy the things from because I actually knew the shop because that's usually where I buy my toiletries and stuff like that. So yeah, from there, yeah, I decided to buy what I needed to buy, collecting what I need and stuff like that, and also at the same time calculating the money in terms of how much I was spending at that specific moment, because it was really concerning me the way things are so expensive nowadays. So from there, yeah, I bought everything that I needed. I actually put everything that I needed in a tray and all that. And I was pushing it around, looking for anything else that I could have possibly needed at that specific moment. That's when from a distance on the other side of the mall, I noticed a guy who is the same complexion and the same height as the guy who tried to rob me in a week ago or 2 weeks ago, if I remember quite well. I don't remember well when it happened, but the guy who tried to rob me my phone. If you watched my previous video, then you're gonna know exactly what happened, how everything unfolded, and how I found myself in that situation. So basically, I spotted the guy. I was like, you know what? Maybe it's just a normal guy who's doing his normal shopping. So I shouldn't have to suspect someone simply because they have the same height and they have the same complexion as the person who tried to rob me. The surprising thing is that the person was wearing the same clothes, So I was like, okay, fine, I'm not gonna take this too hard. I continued doing my shopping, and I think he actually managed to notice me as well, because as I was walking towards the to pay and leave, he sort of strolled his moment of going to the cashier because he wasn't even holding anything. So I think he was actually looking to rob another person because he wasn't holding anything and he was walking towards the cashier. So in my mind, I'm like, okay, fine, this is quite weird because why would he come into a supermarket? Why would he try to buy something but he doesn't buy anything? He's not even holding anything. He's not pushing a tray. He's not doing anything. Basically, he's just walking with those side bags that students usually carry and stuff like that. So I was like, oh, maybe he's here to buy airtime. I know that's very much unreasonable of me, and that's a naive thought considering the fact that I almost got robbed the last time. So I was like, okay, fine, maybe it's just here to buy some airtime, who knows, electricity, or pay for DSTV, or whatever the case might be. A lot of scenarios were rushing in my head. However, the one thing that I can say was happening in my certain behavior and stuff is that I was sort of the experience that I had the last time sort of was a wake-up call for me because I was now fully aware of my surroundings and I was now checking it as much as I could, right? So I paid, and then unfortunately the cashier mistakenly pressed cash whilst I actually told it that I wanted to pay with card. So there was a whole delay and the whole process of the payment and stuff. So I stood there for quite some time and he went to the other cashier and he did what he wanted to do, of which he still came out with nothing. So I was still surprised. So he went out and then he went and stood close to the entrance of the shop actually. So I paid. After paying, I was walking out of the shop and here is the guy. As I was walking out of the shop and walking away from the shop, the guy was walking right behind me. So I was like, you know what? I'm fed up of this guy because he seems exactly like the guy who tried to rob me the last time and he is right behind me. So clearly, if he's not the same guy, it's probably my bad luck of some guy who looks like the same guy and is trying to do the exact same thing. So I put my phone in my pocket because at that specific moment I was trying to request, so that was something that I couldn't avoid. I had to request back to res basically. So yeah, and the guy was walking behind me. I turned around, I stopped, I looked at him. And then from there, I greeted him. I was like, yeah, when I see you like at this specific place at this specific time and you try to take my phone and stuff like that. He's like, no, that can't be me. I'm not a person who robs people and stuff like that. Then I was like, okay, sharp, then why are you following me? Right? And then he was like on some, I'm not following you, I'm actually walking in the same direction. So it's just a coincidence that when you were coming out of the shop, Mina, I was actually done with what I was doing and I was now about to leave as well. So I had to walk behind you, which is more of a coincidence. So I'm like, okay, fine. So if you're not the same guy that tried to rob me, you went into that shop and you didn't buy anything and you're basically trying to make your way. And I was feeling much more confident and I was getting pissed at the whole situation because of the fact that the guy was acting dumb about everything, whilst I could see that this is the exact same guy that basically tried to rob me. So the guy was on some I'm gonna leave right now because it seems like you're just accusing me of situations and scenarios that you've formed in your head. I'm like, okay, fine, no problem, then bye, just stop walking behind me. So I was getting pissed at that moment and he saw that this guy is getting pissed and he's gonna start a whole situation and scenario in this place, and eventually he's gonna be caught and he's gonna be beaten really bad because now it was starting to attract people's attention, right? So then he walked away and then I walked in the opposite direction from where he was walking. Then I was like, okay, fine, this is pretty cool, so long as he's not going to be following me, so long as he's not going to be on my case and stuff like that. I went and waited for my Uber outside, and as I was waiting outside, my driver called me and then he was like, you need to come and stand by the robot because the taxi drivers usually charge them for collecting people, and stuff like that. So I was like, that's pretty cool. So as I went to the robot, which is more or less in line with the mall and stuff like that, I went and stood by the robot and stuff. A few minutes later, the same guy was being dealt with by the security guards and these other guys. Actually, it was a whole situation, and the intel on that is that the guy tried this exact same thing on a person in the mall, and the person managed to scream, and then the security got involved and stuff like that. So I was like, so exactly, this is the same person who tried to rob me, and he tried to do the exact same thing to another person, and he got caught. So yeah, my Uber driver ended up arriving, and I left. And when I left, they were dealing with him, like they were beating that guy up. So I don't know what happened now, considering the fact that they caught him. So I feel like, yeah, karma does happen. You try to do things to other people, and eventually it comes back to you. So I know how people are, and there was no police people there was nothing. He was just being treated like trash. He was being beaten and stuff like that. Yeah, so anything will happen to him. And yeah, but yeah, that's basically the development of what happened today. I'm just glad though that the person got caught, and the same thing that happened to me won't have to happen to any other people. Because clearly he was getting too comfortable, and he was he thought he owned the world and stuff. But yeah, anyway, that's the development of the story. Thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate you guys. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, please do subscribe. I would really like to see the subscriptions go up, and leave a comment if you have any thoughts. If you have anything in mind that you'd like to share, please do. I'd really appreciate to hear from you guys. Otherwise, thank you guys. I'll see you in the next video.